Greetings and welcome to NKNOW. My name is Casey Lartig. The theme today, information, information, information. Oh, and please don't shoot this podcast. Now, in case you hadn't heard, the Korean peninsula was on the brink of war again. Charges, threats, insults, everything but yo mama jokes flew back and forth between the two Koreas. Then, dramatic dialogue once again diffused the situation. The latest drama began the night of August 4th when two landmines detonated in the DMZ, seriously wounding two South Korean soldiers. Now, the South Korean military investigated. It concluded that the mines had been planted by North Korea. Of course, North Korea insisted that it was all a fabrication by South Korea. The South Korean side responded with loudspeakers, broadcasting information into North Korea. Of course, the North Koreans were outraged. They shot at the speakers. South Korea shot back. Then North Korea declared a quasi-state of war. Then things got really intense. So where were you on August 22nd at 5 p.m.? If you're an expat or even a South Korean in South Korea, you were probably paying very close attention to the clock. Because actually many people around the world were paying attention because that was the deadline North Korea set for requiring South Korea to remove those loudspeakers. The Koreas began more serious negotiations, then came to the kind of vague diplomatic agreement with enough wiggle room to allow analysts to argue about what it all means. Did North Korea apologize? Did it acknowledge its involvement? Talking among people about that. Now, one of the North Korean representatives returned to North Korea, still blaming South Korea, saying that it was all a fabrication. So things might not have changed that much. And there is that old saying, the more things change, the more they stay the same. And I guess that is true in this case. But this is still a teachable moment for the rest of us. One thing is clear, the North Korean regime can't tolerate opposing opinions. It declared a quasi-state of war after shooting at those loudspeakers. Unless the South removes the loudspeakers, military operations will be initiated against the South. Now, can we take a look at those loudspeakers? That's what almost caused a war. Now, it almost seems like a comedy routine to say that they started shooting at loudspeakers. Now, I have an image in my mind of those North Korean soldiers aiming their guns at those loudspeakers, outraged that they were saying bad things about dictator number 3 of North Korea. Now, one of my refugee friends told me last year that North Korea is afraid of information because it is so weak and insecure. It can't allow people there to read or hear opposing opinions. Its strength comes from keeping people isolated, keeping them brainwashed. Now, it isn't just loudspeakers that the North Korean regime fears. Air balloons, radio broadcasts, foreign movies. Now, people constantly ask me how can they get involved with helping North Koreans. The North Korean regime just gave you a great clue, and that is send information. The North Korean government has confirmed that outside information is still a threat, but that doesn't mean the rest of us must remain silent. It is still possible to send information into North Korea. A number of different radio stations broadcast via shortwave radio. A lot of organizations send USB drives and other information into North Korea. The North Korean regime has told us, as the theme of today's show is, information, information, information. Okay, that's it for today. This is NKNOW. My name is Casey Lartig. Thank you very much for joining us.